Hey everybody, we are kicking off July with our Back to the Basics series, and I'm excited to bring it to you. July, Team Talk Tuesday, they're all going to be recorded. They're all back to the basics. This week is week one, and I call it Build It Like You Mean It. Okay, so we're going to talk about a bunch of things today. We're going to talk about being intentional with our time, money, and our resources. We're going to talk about setting boundaries, setting expectations, setting goals, but mostly we're going to talk about spending our time and energy on the things that drive a business forward, revenue generating activities, because sometimes we get stuck spending our time on things that don't. Okay, um, no matter how long you've been with Scentsy, maybe you're brand new or newer. Maybe you've been around 6 days, 6 weeks. Maybe you are really a seasoned consultant. You've been here 6 years, 16 years, I don't know, a long, long time, right? Um, I'm closing it on 18 years this fall, 18 years in November. But no matter how long you've been with Scentsy, this is your chance to hit the reset button and to refocus on the simple, proven things that actually grow a Scentsy business. Most successful people do the basics better and more often. That's it, right? Every single top leader I know, and I actually stopped and paused to think if there was anyone who is successful at the top of the company who doesn't do this. And I couldn't think of anyone. I think sometimes people fall out of success because they stop doing this, but every successful leader I know goes back to the basics whenever they want to spark fresh growth or scale bigger or break out of a slump. And you're like, why would a top leader be in a slump? We're human. Everyone in this company goes through slumps. Everyone in the world goes through slumps, right? Top leaders work their way out of a slump by going back and doing the things they know work, right? So this month we're dialing into things that never go out of style. So as I said, today we're talking about what truly builds your business and what doesn't. Next week, we're going to talk about how to love on your hosts and your VIPs. We're going to talk about how to coach them and do all the things. The third week, we are going to talk about creative and time-proven ways to increase your PRV. And then on the 22nd, we're going to talk, the week of the 22nd, we're going to talk about how Scentsy Club can add steadiness and consistency to your paycheck. Okay. And then I do have a bonus training I might do at some time. I'm not sure when I'm going to drop it, but at some point, it's basically on some of the basic things that we forget in our business that make all the difference. Simple daily things that we can share or tell our customers or should be doing in our business that make all the difference, but people forget. So for some of you, this is going to be a great refresher. Okay. Some of you are going to be like, I knew most of that, but maybe you've forgotten some of it or you aren't actually doing it. For some of you, this might be brand new. But for everyone, no matter where you are, myself included, it's a chance to reevaluate, refocus, and make the shifts you need. Why do you want to make those shifts? It's really important. This is your opportunity to clean up what's not working, double down on what does, and build real momentum for the rest of the year. Why? Why for the rest of the year? We are about to go into the busy fall selling season. Like this is July. This is the month that we put everything in motion and make sure that we are aligned with what we want to accomplish this fall, right? We're also halfway through the year. It's important. Are you where you want to be? If not, this is really critical for you as well. Okay. Okay, let's dive in. Let me just say this, and I just said it, but I'm saying it in a little bit of a different way. The work we do now impacts your fall selling season. So that's why this is the important thing to do to make these shifts, get intentional, and prioritize what moves the needle forward. The work you do now impacts what happens 60 to 90 days from now. And so this is the time to make those shifts. So why does this matter? Why are we even talking about it? You guys know you get tough love from me. You also get real, raw, and honest. And that's what you're going to get today. So let me just be honest with you for a minute. A lot of people think they're running a business, but they're treating it like a hobby. They spend their days on busy work that makes them feel like they're busy or even feel productive, but it doesn't actually pay them. It doesn't actually change anything with the business they're building. It doesn't help them grow a stronger business. It doesn't increase their commission, right? I also think there's a myth in our industry that says, oh, direct selling is easy. Customers just show up. New people will magically find you. And orders are just going to roll in because you posted a flyer on social media. But you guys, that's not real life. That's not how it works. You can't grow a thriving business passively. It's proactive income you're creating, not passive. So if you were using the post and pray method, It's not going to get you long-term success that you want. Okay. Okay. What else? If you're not putting yourself out there, you're putting your business on hold. Being successful means being a good steward of your time. My team hates it, probably. I say this all the time. I want you to be a good steward, and to be successful, you need to be a good steward of your time, resources, money, and energy. Okay. And you can't waste it. The commission you see on the 10th of the month or the 9th of the month, it's not your paycheck that you spend mindlessly. It's the income that your business earned. And I know most of you think of it like you're clocking in 9 to 5 and you're getting a paycheck, but it's actually your business income. Okay. It's the income your business earned from the work that you put into your business. And you pay yourself wisely from that. You cover your expenses, you reinvest a piece, hopefully, and maybe you put aside something for a piece of it for something bigger. When you treat your business like a business, it pays you like a business. But when you treat it like a hobby, that's all you're going to get out of it is hobby income. And here's one thing. Yeah, this business is work, but it's also supposed to be fun and enjoyable. And you started this to create something of value, I'm assuming, for you, your family, whatever. You didn't create this for burnout or to be frustrated or angry. If you're not happy with where your business is right now, it's within your control 100% to change it. And if you're not happy with something the company's doing, you need to work through it. You need to find a solution. You need to keep moving, right? You don't have to tell people you're unhappy. Like your customers and your team, they just know. It's just the reality of it. Also, if you aren't using the products in your life, like some of you were really big customers and then you joined and you're not buying like you used to. If you don't use the products in your life, how can you authentically sell them? How can you share with someone a testimonial of how much you love something if you aren't using it? People will realize that your passion isn't real. They feel it when it's real. So I would encourage you, find the products you're passionate about and use them, right? So you can authentically share them. Like I hear people say all the time, like, oh, I don't ever sell air purifiers, or I don't ever sell diffusers. Well, do you have one? Well, no. Well, then you don't understand how awesome they are and you can't sell them. Okay. Let's talk about what actually builds your business. Okay. What actually builds your business? What should you be spending your time on? It's simple. Revenue generating activities, RGAs. Now, some people call them IPAs, or income producing activities. So just to be clear, revenue generating activity and income producing activity, exact same thing, just two different words for them. Okay. So these are the things that directly impact your income and move your business forward. They're the things like that help you create a sale or secure a booking or open a door to a recruiting conversation. They're the things that are going to grow your business and grow your commission. So let me give you some examples. Okay. Because I want you to be very clear on this, because this is what you should be spending your time on. Following up with a customer, revenue generating activity or income producing, same thing, right? Booking your calendar, whether that be parties, events, fundraisers, whatever, revenue generating, that increases your income long term, right? Hostess coaching, revenue generating. Hosting parties or fundraisers or events or having a booth at the county fair, whatever, revenue generating. Talking to new people. Why? You have to always expand beyond your circle. Okay. Revenue generating. Flipping a host, revenue generating. Sending samples with intention. You're making samples and they're never leaving your house, not revenue generating, waste of time. If you're making samples, handing them out randomly and not following up with people, or even mailing them out, not following up, it's not revenue generating. You've got to be intentional with it. Okay. Always follow up. Those are, okay, let me give you a couple other examples. Sharing your story, being present on social, sharing your favorites, right? With a clear call to action, not with a flyer. Not with a flyer. Daily reach outs. Hey, we just got the most amazing collection and I know you are going to love it. And here's why. Revenue generating, income producing activity, and connecting in real life, right? You never know who's looking for you right now, and making real life connections, critical. You always have to be meeting new people, right? Okay, here's some things that are not revenue generating, not income producing. Who on here is guilty of spending hours scrolling on social media aimlessly. Oh, well, I spent time looking at what other consultants were doing. Oh, I spent 10 hours on the team page. You know, you can show up on the team page, but you ought to be able to do it in 10 minutes at a pop max, right? You don't need to be part of every group, every page, all the things. And if you are scrolling, looking at what other consultants are doing for hours, it's not revenue generating. You're going to get to the end of the day and think you worked, but you didn't really do anything in your business, right? Also, stop spending time watching what everyone else is doing. Comparison kills confidence. It truly does. You do you, right? How many of you, I know some of you spend time in all these other Facebook groups. Oh, but I saved 200 cute graphics today and I'm going to post them, or I'm going to create a Facebook party with them, but you never do. It's not revenue generating if you don't ever do it. Some of you spend hours, days, weeks tweaking your logo or your personal branding for the 10th time since May. Not revenue generating. Some of you spend, oh my gosh, so much time overthinking your social media, right? Like overthinking your next reel. Just post it. Just post it. The goal is not to be perfect. People relate to people who are authentic and real. They don't want perfection. Plus, the goal is to get better over time. And if you don't give yourself room to improve, you want to look back at your old post and be like, wow, that really sucked. That was horrible. Okay. Complaining about, some of you do this. Nobody wants to buy. Don't have any customers. Complaining about it, but you don't do anything to take action. It's not revenue generating, right? Some of you spend hours organizing your office space or your desk or your inventory or your whatever, but you never sit there or use it or connect with people, right? Some of you are fantastic at building every possible system, but you never implement them. Not revenue generating. Some of you spend a lot of time worrying about what other people think. Oh my gosh, what will they think about me if I post that? What will my old neighbor's coworker's friend think if I show up online in that way? Let them. Okay. I'm going to be ruthless for a minute. If it doesn't make you money, it's either a luxury or a distraction. Busyness is a distraction disguised as dedication. I have that sitting on my desk as a reminder. Busyness is a distraction disguised as dedication. You think I'm doing all the things. You're just doing busy work. Like done beats perfect, right? Just take action. So if you ever feel like you're working hard and nothing is moving, pause and ask yourself, is this really an income generating activity? Or is it just fluff that makes me feel busy? Now, there's nothing wrong with some fluff, okay? And there's nothing wrong with a lot of fluff if you have unlimited time, unlimited money, and nothing better to do. But for most of us, we don't. Time is a precious commodity. Time is money, and you have to spend it wisely. And so in that situation, you need to make sure that you're spending time on the revenue generating activities. Now, also, let me also say this. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? The basics work when you actually do them consistently. So stop searching for secret hacks because the hack is actually doing the work. All right. Let's talk about 3 minutes about intentionality and your time. Okay. Because this is an important part of the basics and how you're spending your time and what brings results. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. I do, you do, your next door neighbor does, everyone, 24 hours. But here's the kicker. Your business doesn't care if you meant to work today. Your business only cares if you did work today. You are not fooling anyone but yourself when you don't show up in your business. My favorite gut check is, and again, I have all these things sitting on my desk, right? I ask myself, if my team did what I did today, would they be successful? And if your honest answer makes you squirm, it's your signal that you need to shift. If my team did what I did today, would they be successful? Now, the answer is not always 100% going to be absolutely, right? But when the answer is no, it opens up and it gives you a window to what that weakness is that you need to work on, right? You don't need 8 free hours a day to be successful, but you do need to use the time you have with intention. And that's what we want you to do. So maybe you want to work in small focused windows, right? Short windows work if you use them right. So like 15, 20-minute power sessions, okay? You can do a lot in 15, 20 minutes. Maybe you want to use those small pockets of window of time when you are doing something else, like you want to habit stack in essence. So like maybe you're waiting in line for something. You want to message a VIP or check in with the past host. Maybe you want to set a system that when I do this, I do this. Maybe you want to, when you have your coffee in the morning, you're going to do 20 minutes of personal development, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're folding laundry, or you're doing something where your hands are busy, but you can still send a voice message to a customer thanking them for their order or just checking in with them, right? Hey, how are you doing? We haven't talked in a while. How was your daughter's wedding? Whatever the case may be. People love to hear your voice. Okay. Use some simple tools to stay on track. My favorite tool, one of my favorite new tools, it's not that brand new, but it's new because I didn't use it when it first came out, because we've got really great systems, right? But is that Sensi Connect app. It makes things so much easier for you. It tells you who to check in with, tells you they got their order, tells you all the things, right? Their order was delivered, they placed an order. Use these things and use them wisely so that you can be a good steward of your time, resources, energy, and money. Okay. Set a timer, right? If you have 15 minutes, use 15 minutes. 15 minutes of real intentional action is way more valuable than 2 hours of mindless scrolling. Okay. Set a timer, be dedicated, and use your time wisely. Another thing that I think is really important, and I wish more of you did it, is showing up on the team pages. You have a lot of value to add. The things that you do and you do well, some of them are common sense to you, but they're not to someone else. If you would show up with hashtag how I'm working and just share how you're working, not only would you inspire others and give them other ideas, but you would also motivate them to do the same. And when they do, and they share their common sense ideas that you might not have thought about, they will actually help you boost your business by giving you fresh ideas. So be the example and start that. Your time is precious. Spend it where it counts. Okay. Now, along lines of that, I want to talk for about 2 minutes on boundaries. Okay. Let's talk about something people often forget. People building businesses don't like to put boundaries in place. Boundaries are critically important. They're so important. When you treat your business like a business, you protect your time, your energy, and your family's time too. Set boundaries and don't feel bad about it. I can promise you nobody ever died of warmers and wax. Nobody ever died because you didn't reply in 10 minutes. Okay. Here's what I see people doing all the time. People work all day, but they rarely do anything on purpose. They don't accomplish anything. They're busy, but they don't accomplish anything. I see people answering messages. So their family, here's what their family sees. You were working for 10 hours today, or you were working for the 4 hours of free time we had home, but you actually weren't working because you weren't intentional and doing revenue generating activities, and you were just scrolling and you weren't moving your business forward. Okay. Or I see people sitting, or I used to be guilty of this too, sitting in bed with their spouse, watching TV, or on the couch watching a movie, or doing something with their kids. And it's late. Maybe it's not late if you're done with your kids, but it's like 11 p.m. and they're replying to messages. But yet they ignore their family at dinner. Where are your priorities? Set some boundaries, right? People say yes to everyone and everything, but they have no plans and they have no priorities, right? You don't have to do all the things for everyone. It's okay to say no. That's your right. And if they don't like it, that's okay. Let them. Okay. Here are a few simple ways to put some boundaries in place and give your time power. Set clear office hours. Now, some of you are going to be like, I don't work this full time. I only have a little bit of time in the morning. Okay. I only have a little bit of time. That's fine. Office hours could be, I'm going to work 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. Just set the expectation. Maybe you let your customers know that you return messages between 12 and 2 or 7 and 9 or whatever the time might be, right? Nobody ever died because you didn't reply to them immediately. And if they know up front what your schedule is, then they honor and they respect that, right? Like they don't want you taking their wax order when you should be at your daughter's dance recital. They don't. Okay. A bonus, if you are an iPhone user, I assume Android has this option, but I don't really know. You can schedule your messages. So say your only window of time to reply to people is at like, I don't know, 11 p.m. But you don't want to reply to someone at 11 p.m. by text message. So you can write the message and you can schedule it to send later. Android probably has that option. I don't know. Block time for your family. When you're off, be present with your family. Be present where you are. okay? And protect your work blocks from distraction. So just like you're going to be present with your family, if you're doing like those 20-minute blocks of work, be intentional with that. Sit down, go to work, do something that adds value and revenue to your business, and then be done. But don't let distractions overcome that time, such as mindless scrolling that you are calling work that's not. Don't, if you're sitting down to work for 20 minutes, don't look around and see there's dishes in the kitchen sink. Get up to do them, right? Be intentional and honor the time you have. Okay. Boundaries also means learning to say no to things that drain you and not feeling bad about it. I don't know why. And I think women are more prone to this than men, but we feel bad saying no. Don't feel bad. If a task doesn't fit your plan for the week, it can wait. That's just the reality. If you're stuck, like replying to, if you find that you're spending all your time replying to messages because like they just keep coming in, then batch them. Set 2 or 3 times for the day and reply to them then. It's okay. You don't have to do it the second it comes in, right? If you're spread too thin, ask for help or delegate things out. You should spend time on doing things that only you can do, right? So you're like, I can't afford to hire help, Karen. Like I don't make enough to do that. That's fine. You don't have to, but I bet you have a customer that you could incent with a couple bars each month, or maybe they want a mini warmer, or there's something that they want, and there's something that maybe they could do your sampling for you, right? And in exchange, you could use host rewards to grab the product that they want, and that's helpful. It's win-win for both of you. Okay. All right. But when you set a healthy boundaries, your business feels lighter, your family sees you present, and your time actually creates impact. You know, working all the time is not the same as working with purpose. And the goal of this business is to add value to your life or your families or wherever you did this, and not to distract from it. And from experience, I can tell you many, many years ago, your family will resent your business long term if you don't put some boundaries in place. So don't do that. It's not why you do this. All right, let's talk about getting out of your comfort zone because, and I know this is a hard one for some of you, but this is a business basic. Nothing grows in your comfort zone. In fact, I told someone yesterday, no one chases their dreams from the comfort that they're sitting in. You have to get uncomfortable to grow. Your business, your income, your confidence, none of it grows if you stay where you are in your comfort zone. One of the biggest mistakes I see people believing is that people magically will find you. They'll magically buy from you, or they're going to join your team without you actively showing up. And that's not the reality. Customers won't just come forever, and your friends and family and your social circle, it ends. And the most successful people learn to build quickly outside of their friends and family. If you stay invisible, people don't know you exist. You have to get out there. So here's a couple ideas. Ask for referrals. Who do you know that loves Scentsy, right? And while you're asking for referrals, ask for testimonials too. I love to get testimonials from hosts, from event coordinators, and from fundraiser coordinators, right? Would you mind sharing a few words about your party and how it went, or about the fundraiser? I'd love to be able to share with others. You can even post those things, and you can even ask your customers about your customer service or about products that they love. Spill those things like on social media, right? Collect them, sprinkle them in your stories, all the places. Okay, real words from real people build trust way better than flyers ever will. It's a reality. Maybe you need to get out there and book fundraisers, right? There's a lot of people that need extra money. Be the solution for them. Maybe you need to get out there and find new ways in your community to interact, and sharing authentically something that you love, or joining groups that you're passionate about. Maybe you need to find booths, vendor events, a booth at the farmer's market or the county fair, whatever the case may be. Let people see, smell, and experience your product. And remember, if you want to see different results, you got to do something different, right? Scary's okay. Don't be afraid. Scary's okay, because that's where the good stuff happens. Like, let's just be real and honest. All right. I want to talk for just a couple minutes about planning and goal setting. I know some of you don't like that either, but week 1, we're going to cover all this stuff. If you don't have a goal, you're drifting. So I want you to think about your phone. Okay, you got your phone, you're going somewhere, and you're going to pull up your maps, and you're going to type in the address to where you're going. And when you type in the address in maps, it's going to then give you all the routes to get there. Now, one route might be the fastest. One route might keep you off the highway. It might be a little slower. One route maybe straighter, less roads to take, whatever. I don't care what road you're on or what route you take. But if you don't know where you're going first, you can't plot how to get there. Okay. The map shows you how to get there, but if you don't have a destination in mind, you can't plot it. Okay. Your business works the same way. No goal equals no plan. No plan equals no progress. Your business loves clarity. So we have to have plans. Some things that I ask myself every single month. What's my PRV goal for this month? How many parties or fundraisers or events do I want to book? How many new contacts do I need to meet? How many people am I going to invite to partner with Scentsy? How many followers do I want to add on social media? And how many new customers am I going to end the month with in my workstation? And then you can reverse engineer it. I worked with Deb Bowden maybe a month or two ago to create a training. She was working on training on how to do this, how to reverse engineer to get your calendar to line up with the commission you're wanting. So if you know, for example, you want 2,500 PRV for the month, you then figure out how many parties that takes, and then how many people do you have to ask, and so on and so forth. Okay. And then once I do that, I like to dig deeper. I have my goal. Why is, and again, another, see if I can find it, another post-it note I keep on my desk. Okay. Another post-it note I keep on my desk. It says, what about this is meaningful to you? And what kind of impact will that have on you? So when I take a look at my my goal, why is that meaningful to me? What kind of impacts that can have on me and my family? What's that going to allow me to do? Or if I don't accomplish it, what's going to be the negative impact, right? So that's important. So when your goal means something real, you're going to fight harder for it. Write it down, break it down, share it with someone who's going to hold you accountable. You need an accountability partner, not a friendability partner. What's the difference? A friendability partner is a friend who's going to let you slide and say, oh, it's okay. You didn't accomplish that, girl. You were busy. An accountability partner is going to remind you what you said you wanted, and they're going to hold you accountable to accomplishing it. Find yourself an accountability partner. I want to talk about one of the biggest traps that I see people in business do, especially in direct sales, especially in the summer. They also do it during the holidays. Now, let me start by saying it is okay to take a vacation, and by all means, we should not work 24/7. Absolutely not. It is okay to take a vacation, but you prepare for it, right? One of the biggest traps that I see people in is they put their business on hold for weeks or months, and then they wonder why they're stuck. When you disappear, so does your momentum. Stopping and starting is the fastest way to stay stuck. Consistency, teeny doses of consistency always beats perfection, right? Life happens. I am the perfect example of life happening, right? Kids, parents, jobs, health, all the things. I get it because I'm living it right now. But you can keep your business going in small little pockets of time, small little windows. And that consistency means more than anything. I see people regularly be like, oh, it's okay. I took the month off, but it's okay. I'm full steam ahead. I'm going to get all back to work. Here's what happens when you do that. When you do that, you've lost momentum, and that's a problem for you. So maybe you know you have something coming up and you want to batch your content on Sundays. Then if you have time during the week, you can add a post here or there, right? Maybe you need to be more prepared and you need to have things ready to go. So you know what's coming up, you're going to prepare for it. Or maybe you need to keep some things ready in your car, not wax in the summer, but you want to keep other supplies ready and available. Maybe you need to, you know that on Tuesday you're going to be at the doctor's office in the waiting room, and maybe your child is having their teeth cleaned. And so you know that you're going to be in the waiting room. And so you are going to be prepared to be able to work in that pocket of time. You can do a whole bunch of things in the waiting room. I've worked from many hospitals, hospitals, hotels, and doctor's office waiting rooms. You can absolutely accomplish a lot. But little daily touches beat big bursts and long breaks every single time, because the time it takes you to rebuild that momentum, significant. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. And consistency compounds. Tiny actions done daily become massive over time. Truly, it makes a big difference. And it also builds trust. And this is going to be a little tough love. Silence breaks trust with your team, with your customers, with all the things. People buy from someone that they remember. And if you pause, they're going to remember someone else. So short, imperfect action every day meets big effort and long breaks. Just remember that. No one is coming to do the work for you too. This is just one more piece of tough love. You're the magic, right? You are the one who's showing up in your business. So if you want new results, you have to create them one intentional action at a time. All right. So that was a lot. So what are we going to do now, and how are we going to make this stick? Because I don't just want to provide you with training. I want you to take action. So for the next 2 days, I want you to track your time. Write down what you're doing in your business, all of it, be honest. And then reality check, was it revenue generating or was it fluff? And be honest. Like, you're only fooling yourself if you're not honest. Next, did you set a goal this month? If not, the time is now, right? Because you can't get to a destination you don't know you're going to. Don't stop there though. Share why. Why is that impactful for you, right? What about, is it important or meaningful for you? What kind of impact will it have on you when you accomplish it? For me, sometimes also it's, what's the negative fallout going to be if I don't do it, right? That doesn't motivate you quite the same way. Stick to the positive first if you can. But share that goal, right? Every day ask yourself, if I had a team, or if you do have a team, if my team did what I did today, would they be successful? And then use that when the answer is no to figure out how you need to shift, because successful people, they don't have a magic wand. They don't have any magic tools. They just do the basics more consistently and better. Okay. Remember, you're the CEO of your business. Build it like you mean it. If you need something to stay on track, create those non-negotiables. You could do a power of 5. You could do 5 things every day that are non-negotiable that you're going to do in your business, maybe 5 days a week, right? Maybe one is something very simple, like post something real on social media. You using the product, you being real, you sharing your story, you showing up authentically. Maybe a non-negotiable is you're going to follow up with 3 people a day, right? Check in, thank them, offer them something new. We have tons of things out there. Maybe one non-negotiable is you're going to connect with one host or one potential host. Plant the seed, right? Maybe you're going to talk to one person about partnering with Scentsy. Okay, maybe you're going to, maybe personal development's important. Personal development's really important to me. It's something I spend a lot of time on. Someone said to me a couple weeks ago, you must read a lot. You're right, I do, because I'm always wanting to become the best version of myself. So maybe you want to learn for 5 minutes and then take action. Don't scroll endlessly though, right? That's not a call to action. That's not revenue generating activity. Whatever your power 5 is, or your non-negotiables, tweak them to fit you, right? What I do shouldn't be what you do. But don't just tweak them to fit you, actually show up and do them. Again, small intentional actions daily add up faster than you think. Okay, next week we're going to talk about your MVPs and your VIPs. We're going to talk about your customers and your best hosts, how to truly care for them, how to coach them well, and turn them into, the heart and soul of your business. But for now, let's make this week count. Track your time, cut the fluff, do the real work. Remember, I don't think you joined Scentsy to stay the same. You joined Scentsy to create something more for you or the people you love. And the basics build that future when you build them with meaning. Your business is going to pay you like you mean it when you work it like you mean it. Let me say that again. I know it's kind of tough love. I feel like all I've done is given you tough love. Your business will pay you like you mean it when you work it like you mean it. So I don't want you just to learn from this. I want you to do. So let's do this together. I'm going to do it with you this week. I'm going to track my fluff versus my revenue generating activities. I'm going to make sure that I show up accountable with boundaries and all the things. And I expect the same of you. Have a good week, and we'll be back next week.